So currently I am based in Stockholm in Sweden. Normally this time of year I'd be in Asia, in Thailand. But now I'm in Sweden and it's all good. It's all good. I mean, obviously everyone is kind of stuck right now, of course. So, and in terms of like work-wise, I'm actually dropping my second book. It's a co-author book, and my first one was aimed at professionals and adults, and then this one will be aimed at kids and youth, which is so exciting, I think, and obviously focusing on porn, sex, sex in general, and consent as well. So that's kind of where I'm at with my second book. Yeah. So why I've chosen to target kids and youth for my second book is really because, to my knowledge, there isn't any books focusing on porn and sex and consent aimed at kids and youth. And also to kind of make sure that kids and youth actually get the conversation about porn that they really deserve. Because obviously it's going to be somewhat of a Russian roulette going on depending on your school or your home surroundings, whether or not people are actually talking porn with you. And I think it's your right to kind of get that knowledge. Really, the sex education that I got, it was sort of a condom on a banana, and like that's not sex education. And so I think we got to step it up here, because it really is a matter of rights and power, I think, as well, to be able to choose for yourself what you want to do and what kind of turns you on, and to discover your own sexuality without the porn industry sort of setting the standards. Since my TEDx talk in 2019, obviously, like in terms of social media, it sort of like blew up, and my DMs blew up. I still get between 25 to 35 DMs a day from guys, especially sharing their stories with porn addiction. And what really sort of changed was obviously the reach, because now the talk being in English and all of that, you sort of you get to reach people from all over the world. And so that's really noticeable in my work right now. Having guys write to you from Saudi Arabia or from Afghanistan or from Thailand or from the US, and so sort of the global perspective really came to a new level for me. So what really inspired me in terms of doing not only a TED talk, but to have it focused on porn, was really to kind of make something that hadn't been done before. Like, I knew I wanted to talk about porn because, that's my issue. I'm so on fire for that. But also to have it be somewhat of a new talk in terms of really keeping it accessible to basically everyone. That was very important to me, to have it not too narrow. I kind of wanted it as broad as possible, but still to offer an idea, obviously. Yeah, and my kind of thinking when writing the script was really like, this needs to fit everyone, basically. I wanted to fit everyone in Saudi Arabia to the US, that kind of broad spectra. That was kind of my thinking doing this. And just the lack of conversations is obviously reasons for not only the talk but the title as well. Let's talk porn. That's what I want to see happen. So I think during these pandemic times, people are stuck at home. So, porn consumption is gonna increase. And we've seen that as well with numbers coming out. But I also see another side to it. I actually do see people, and that's obviously a matter of privilege, whether or not you're sort of able to, work from home or like take a step back and sort of evaluate your life, really. And I actually do see a lot of people sort of re-examining their use of porn in a way. So it's like, it's both sides, really. And then obviously 2020 came for Pornhub. That's undeniable what really happened there with all the legal actions and stuff like that. So there are like different sides to it. I do not only view it as sort of this negative thing that happened in terms of the increase in consumption, which obviously can be a problem, but I do see kind of the positive effects as well. So had I done the TEDx talk today, this is honestly like my honest answer, I wouldn't have changed a thing. And I mean that in like the best way possible, because I'm still very happy with not only the outcome, but the reach of it. And I still see the consequences every day from people reaching out who have just watched the talk. And so to kind of make it relevant was my goal, some of my goals, and it seems to still be. And so I'm very happy about that. However, had I done a talk today, I would obviously have, focused more on what has happened with Pornhub during 2020 and, this year as well, 2021. And so to make it perhaps more focused on any sort of like legal solutions that we could use to basically make it safer for people, not only consumers, but people within the industry as well, to sort of look at production and consumption harms and sort of, take a look at any possible legal tools that would be interesting to use in a good way, obviously. So that's something that I would have definitely included today. Doing a TEDx talk was actually one of the best experiences of my life. I enjoyed the process so much. And I was given, the best coach, and we were, the best team. And it really felt like a lifetime experience. I've been just beyond happy about it. For so many reasons. Obviously, because of the reach that my talk got in terms of reaching people from all over the world, when my goal really is to inspire conversations on pornography. And so to me, it was so worth it to do a talk like this. And so I would recommend it to anyone. Do it. As well.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's important to always look at two sides of the debate.
Right.
And it can really help inspire you, whether you're looking at the negative or the positive, to have something to want to talk about with this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And just to sort of like I think like people sort of got I just sort of think people were sort of able to create space for just a bit more of a critical thinking towards any habits that you might have, like not only porn, but I think it's like you're facing yourself when you're by yourself almost like 24 hours a day. And so you're sort of forced to look at certain areas perhaps in your life where you're not completely happy. And I think that also happened with this pandemic. So since my TEDx talk in 2019, I've been, so thankful to be able to reach more than 5 million people now via YouTube. And I just recently discovered that the talk, like someone dropped it on TikTok as well, where it has a couple of million views as well. And so, which is fantastic. And I'm so happy about that. And that is exactly what I was dreaming for, really, to be able to sort of reach people and inspire conversation, because that's what I'm all about. And then my second book is coming out, aimed at kids and youth, about porn, which will be accessible in all basically bookstores and everywhere in Sweden. And you can look me up on Instagram as well to sort of find any links to be able to order it. And then hopefully, who knows, there might be dropping something in English. I don't know when or where or how, but that's just something that I've, it's like beating inside me, a third book. So we'll see what happens.
I guess my turn to be on the spot. So I guess you could say maybe something like, the relevance of this topic goes beyond the pandemic as well, right. In the way that X, Y, and Z affects a person with porn.
Right. So obviously, the relevance in terms of this issue, porn, it extends way beyond this pandemic that we're in, of course. And I really think that when we're sort of on the other side of it, I think we're going to see, again, like the two sides to it. I think we're going to see both people who've sort of been like stuck in porn addiction, maybe, and perhaps at an early age in terms of being, homeschooled more, frequently. And I also, again, do see that perhaps people are sort of coming out of this pandemic with new habits that perhaps feels more positive to you than, viewing porn. And so yeah, I see it as sort of, it's going to be interesting even to see what's going to happen later, and yeah, what we're kind of stuck with. But I think especially in terms of, again, what has happened with Pornhub in, during 2020 and now into 2021, it's going to be very interesting to follow sort of the legal consequences for Pornhub, to see what actually goes on, and what, perhaps what kind of legal framework that we will be able to sort of draft from this. And so yeah, it's going to be interesting to sort of see what happens in a few years. Yeah.